So, hi everyone, we are here in Fort Collins, Colorado, and we are meeting with Doug from the Children's Advocacy Center here in Larimer County, and we're going to ask Doug some questions. So,
okay.
Doug, you are the first male that we've seen at any child advocacy center across the country.
Okay.
It's a field dominated by women, and it seems like men are almost scared of the issue. What, Nina, do you have any ideas why that might be,
Well, as a forensic interviewer, I know that in my training there were a few other males there. Most of the ones who were there were also police officers. They were police officers and forensic interviewers. As far as why males don't want to do this job, I think that sitting down and talking with kids about the things that we talk about, for most males would probably be really uncomfortable. I think that it's easier for males in general, not all males obviously, but for males in general to kind of say that's not really what I want to do. I'm not comfortable talking about that. It's easier to pretend that doesn't happen, and I'll let someone else do it. And I think that traditionally women tend to fill roles that are more nurturing and more child caring, child rearing sort of things. I think that's starting to change, I hope, and I think that's a good thing. I think that this is a field where men can do well. I've done around 25 or 30 interviews now while working here, and I've talked to boys and girls of all ages, and been reasonably successful getting disclosures and having kids be comfortable with me as an interviewer. So I believe men can do it. I think there's no reason why men can't, and I hope that as time goes on, it becomes more acceptable for men to be involved in this type of field, and that men feel more comfortable doing it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an important step. As society kind of changes and this issue opens up to people and they start to learn about it, so take both men and women, and you being here is such a great thing for us to see.
Thank you.
You used to be a cop.
I was.
For 15 years? 15
years, yeah.
What kind of motivated you to cross over and start working for the CAC here?
Well, when I originally got out of law enforcement, I kind of thought that I wanted to do something completely different. And my original intention was to go into therapy. I wanted to be a therapist, and I wanted to work with adults. Graduated with my master's degree in counseling, and I just found out about an application process here. They were looking for a forensic interviewer. I worked with kids a lot when I was in college and high school as a counselor at a camp, and I remembered how much fun it was and how rewarding it was, and so I applied and went through the interview process here, and I really liked the staff, and they liked me, and next thing I knew I had a job. So this is not what I planned at all.
Right.
But I think in my experience we have plans and then we have what happens, and I think we have to be open to what opportunities there are, and I'm very fortunate to have landed here, and I plan on being here for a while.
And
this is great work. This is Princess.
Yeah, who's this?
This is Princess. I don't know if you'd call her a therapy cat, but she does a really good job of helping kids and family members get comfortable here at our Child Advocacy Center. She's just has a great temperament, loves people, loves kids, and we've had several times where we had a child who was real uncomfortable just being here and doing what we were doing here, and Princess is able to help the child calm down and feel better about what's going on. A lot of kids talk about their favorite part of being here was Princess, so we get a lot of positive feedback about her. So
you're in a job. We're out here battling the lawnmower, so I know that's frustrating, but you're in a job that a lot of people I think would find almost inconceivable to do and very difficult. What is the hardest part of your job, would you say?
Well, I think the hardest part of my job so far is when a child is making a disclosure, and you can tell when you're in the room talking to the child how uncomfortable and how traumatic it is for them. I talked to a young girl today who cried while I was getting a disclosure, and it's tough when you can see how much that child is affected by what's happened, even if it happened several years ago. The fact that they're just now talking about it and they're able to voice the actual incident that happened, that's difficult for me. you want to be able to do more than you can right then to make things better. You want to try to fix it, and so knowing that I can't fix it, you know, I can help the process along. I can treat the child with respect, and I can let them be heard, and help them start that process of healing. But I can't fix it. There's nothing I can do that's going to make it all better. That's tough. I think that's probably the toughest part for me.
And then, since we're doing the pedal for prevention, talk to us about prevention and what you think about that, and in that kind of world.
I would love for the prevention side of things to become so effective that I wouldn't have a job anymore. It would be wonderful if we could get to the point where kids felt comfortable telling people no all the time if something was happening that they were uncomfortable with. It would be wonderful if we could get to the point where every time a child said something had happened to them, the adult they told listened and did something about it. It would be wonderful if people in general and the public would actually understand and accept how big a problem this is. I think that all those things are where we're trying to get to with prevention. You know, help kids be able to have the strength to say no, and know that they have the right to say no, and helping parents and other adults understand the scope of the problem, and that they bear a responsibility that if a child comes to them and says something happened, I'm uncomfortable with it, they need to listen and they need to do something with that information, because so often that isn't what happens.